Hello, ha. Okay, so this is a picture I painted quite a while ago now. So I started off. I did this one on board on MDF, and I prepped the board with acrylic again. And I did the usual pattern of 2 layers of white, two of burnt umber, and then 1 of red, crimson red, I think it was. And that seems to have worked out quite well so far. And I did my sketch on here with brush. And before I started, what I did this time was I did the background first, so I'll be able to have something to render into. And that was a mixture of burnt sienna and black. And I put that down. That was okay, and I gave that about a week to dry, so I did give it a good time. And then I started on the main body. But what I didn't expect was that when I started leaning on the background, it started lifting back up with my hand again. So that didn't work out so good, and something I'm going to avoid next time. And what I ended up doing at the end of this was I finished the painting, then went and did the background again afterwards to try and repair some of the smudges I put on. I was lucky because I got paint all over my hand, but I didn't drag it onto the main picture, so that was okay. So this early stage here, I had not realised yet that I was picking a lot of the background up, and in a short while I think I then moved to using a big ruler for support to prevent a lot of the marks I'm putting down. Yeah, so as I said, I did this. There you go. I put the ruler up now. So as I said, I did this a while ago, and I've changed my technique since then. So here I was putting down larger areas with sort of the biggest brush I could manage for that area, and then blending them together. Now I did this before, and it seemed to work out okay for the bodies, but one thing I've noticed, it doesn't work out so good when I'm doing the face for these. I think the point. I think when I do that, I just don't have as much detail. I don't get the levels in. I was down at the National Gallery last week, and I was watching the Caravaggio exhibition, and something that I noticed, and I can't believe I didn't notice this before, was the scale. I was looking at a lot of the master's works and some of the older paintings there, and I noticed that the size of them, they're all huge. I thought it's a daft thing not to notice before, but they are really, really big. And so they just weren't working at the sort of scales that I was working at here. But I was working at the smaller size and still expecting to get the same sort of, looking at the same sort of effects and that. Well, not to be as good as that, obviously, but to try and use some of those techniques. But I think that's where my downfall's been. I've just been looking at the wrong scale. I did look around. There seemed to be some massive pictures. So, for example, the size of the heads of the paintings were probably about the size of my entire board. And a lot of the paintings that I looked at, I noticed there were half paintings with some waist upwards. So a lot of the Caravaggios, a lot of the sort of seated figures, especially, was very small. Well, very large pictures, but with a small portion of the body in the painting. So I think I need to take that into account for a lot of the paintings from now on. And the paintings that were small were very, very tiny. And I noticed they did, a lot of them struggled to get the anatomy right for the very tiny paintings. So I need to keep an eye on that and adjust my techniques now, which is what I have done in some of my paintings since this one. So here I was just trying to get the shade between the fingers, and this is a quite difficult one because I find you got to make the fingers accurate, otherwise they look a bit daft. And this was quite hard because I was trying to get the shading blended and between the fingers, but the best way I found to do this was just a bit at a time. Put the dark tones in and slowly working up to the lighter tones. The one advantage to that is that as I changed the tones on the brush, I didn't really need to clean the brush. I could just pick up a bit more of the next colour, they blend together, and just keep picking up the further bits of the lighter colours in this case, and the brush would just got lighter and lighter as it blended, so that was okay. This larger area, again, quite difficult to blend it all in smoothly. What I've noticed is with the darker paints, they're more transparent, so I can't cover the background as much. So what I tend to get is a white foreground and a sort of a browny, reddy, black toned area, which is partly what I was looking for of the red tone coming through, but it's quite a strong difference between the light areas and the dark areas in terms of the tone coming through. So I just try to look at ways to adjust that. I think just by putting thicker paint on the toned areas works a bit better. So at this point here, I've really realised that leaving the background is making a terrible mess, and just clearing the back in again. And I was trying to use that ruler to do the middle parts of the picture. It was difficult. Finish up here. I'm trying to scan the picture on the scanner. Photographing the painting is really hard, and I get a lot of glare, which is why this picture's taken a long time for me to put the video together. I think the picture is quite good here, but the final scan, I just don't know what to do to improve this. I'll try something with it anyway. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully catch you next time. Bye bye.